Hey guys, what is up? AwesomeTheSauce here. Hope you guys are having a great day. And today we're going to be talking about everything that happened in today's summer update. Now there's a lot of stuff, a lot of controversies. We're going to cover all of it, and then y'all can share your opinions in the comments. There's a lot, so let's get right into it. First thing that I wanted to talk about is something that people have been asking for many years, and this is basically for spellements to not be pay to win anymore. If you guys are unaware, there are a lot of packs in this game right now that give a lot of spellements that essentially you cannot get in any other way. It's not possible. We're looking at Aquila that gives, you know, Athena, Hephaestus, those types of spells. And perhaps the most, you know, the most infamous, you know, the Nautilus, the Celestial, you know, intervention from the Celestial Spellman pack. For about 2 years now, these have been spellements that have only been found in packs. And if you wanted to farm for them from Lore Master, which is currently the only way that you could have until now, basically, then it would have taken you literally hundreds, if not thousands of runs to even get to like tier 3 or tier 4. We're talking about an insane amount of grinding to get to max spellments. And for the first time, they've added bosses that you can farm to get these spellments. Very specifically, like you can farm an Aquila boss for the Aquila spellments, a Mushu boss for the Mushu spellment. Now, these are all gold key bosses. So if you already have a bunch of gold keys, great. But if you don't, this is what this video is really about, because this is a big issue right now. A lot of people are talking about this. Basically, everything that used to drop gold keys is now no longer dropping gold keys, and they've completely revamped how you get them in general. Right now, there's only a few ways to get them. One way is through events, so they changed the PvP battle pass so you can actually, like, you know, it's a very small example, don't worry, this isn't the only way. But now, instead of like a gauntlet, you can get a gold key as your housing item from the PvP battle pass. There will also be like other events like Beast Moon and Decathlon that presumably will be giving golden skeleton keys, although I'm looking at the Beast Moon Monster Mayhem and none of these rewards are golden keys. So I don't know if this is going to be a future thing or if just Monster Mayhem specifically isn't a part of this. We have no real clue on this, but yeah, one of these is most certainly, one of these events is probably going to be dropping these in the event tab. But it really seems that the best way, if you really want to get golden keys, other than, you know, doing the battle pass for PvP, is to craft them. And this is the best way to craft them right now, in my opinion. And if you notice, it is not easy to craft these. We're talking about 41 Hunter's Moonstones. Those aren't that bad. You can literally farm Beast Moon Seeds. That's not the hard part. But we're talking about 13 Balance Moonstones and 6 of these Harmonious Moonstones. You're essentially gonna have to do a lot of Beast Moon, period. And you're gonna have to garden a lot of Balance Moonstone seeds, a lot of Balance seeds from Beast Moon in order to get these Harmonious Moonstones. And each of these only drop 1 golden skeleton key. Like, that is gonna take a lot of farming for each golden key. It's a lot of Beast Moon. And I've heard that there's also a Decathlon recipe, but it requires superior runes, which makes you have to go through like floor 7, floor 8. It's ridiculous. Nobody in their right mind is gonna be doing that unless they've already done it and they have no use for those runes. I think the strat might be to do PvP and literally don't buy the PvP battle pass if you don't want to, but you can do enough where you can start getting these gardening benefit elixirs, and they're really nice because you can do those with the Beast Moon seeds and you can get a bunch of moonstones if you're gardening, but you have to be like, you have to have a lot of seeds already to do that. Like, you need a bunch of seeds. Basically, you need a bunch of reagents already there for you to take advantage of the gardening. Essentially, this gold key update is basically rewarding people that do a lot of side activities at a much higher level than usual, in my opinion, or people that have just hoarded golden skeleton keys already. That is a big issue, because the whole point of this update, in my opinion, should have been to make all of these spellments that were locked behind packs and behind a very stupid lore farming situation. They should have made all of that more accessible. I don't think that this achieves that, because it's much harder to craft a singular golden key boss than I think is reasonable. I think this is very unreasonable. Don't even get me started on the Decathlon recipe. That is ridiculous. I don't know what that is. That's ridiculous. So yes, there are plenty of new bosses that you can farm for spellments, and honestly, they're not hard. They drop dozens of spellments. Honestly, from what I've seen, they drop more spellments at a faster rate than the Dragonspire bosses that you farm for all of your rank 2 to 6, like all of these, the ones that, so like maybe it's a little less tedious, maybe, but at the same time, it's also much less accessible. So I don't know if I like the trade-off as much. Now, there are other things that I want to talk about in this video and honestly just give my feedback, because it's like, really, it is a big update for the people that have been looking forward to some of this. There are guilds now in Live Realm, so if you want to make a guild, you can create a guild. You need 12 friends online to do it, otherwise you can't create it. But once you can do it, I mean, you can literally make everything that we saw in Test Realm. Now, raids do not seem to be in Live Realm yet. I think they're still in test, and I think maybe they're still gonna make it like, you know, a more polished, more final thing at drops. So that's not here yet, but when they are here, it's gonna be very helpful to have a guild. It's gonna be helpful to have gold keys, because you're gonna need to use those to make battle keys. So hopefully between now and when they release raids, they really they ask themselves a good few questions about how rare they want these gold keys to be, because there's a lot of reasons to use gold keys for spellements. And now you also want to do the battle pass key raid thing. All of that in consideration, is it really realistic that we need to craft that many reagents in order to make one gold key? I don't know. Now, one criticism that I've heard a lot of people talk about is a lack of customizability when it comes to actually, you know, making your guild name. And I kind of agree with that, right? I mean, Wiz has a lot of filters. Like, you really can't say a lot. Like, even though I have open chat, if I start putting like actual numbers, like 1, 2, 3, 4, like look at this, bro, it literally filters it out for anyone who has text chat. So they already have a chat filter there to protect people that are maybe too young to be seeing certain words. So why not apply that to the guild name and have people approve it, right? Like, why not? I feel like that should be an easy thing that they could do. I don't think there's going to be that many guilds to the point where it has to be like an ongoing thing. I feel like they could just put a few people on it, approve some names early on, and it probably will become more manageable over time. That's just my thoughts. Again, I don't know all the numbers on this. I don't know how many new guilds are going to be made. I don't know how much they need to moderate that, all that. But it just seems like a huge part of the creative process is in the name, right? So I feel like I don't really, they give you like an auto pick name. Like, you can pick whatever you want, I guess, out of what they give you. But they're kind of like, I don't know, like, who cares, bro? Like, I want to be the Sauce Guild. That's what I want. And finally, as far as PvP goes, there are two big things that they did that I think really, they matter for PvP. One is that they did a rank rollover. They did not do a rank reset. So basically now, right, if you were like a knight in the last meta, you have a certain rank now. And if you were a marshal in the last meta or a captain, you have a certain rank, right? So like basically based on the rank that you were, they basically deducted like 75 rank points. And basically that's just to balance out the meta a little bit. But the second change is big. You don't have to go against someone of your rank or one above or below anymore. You can get anybody at your level that's in queue. Now, this is how PvP has always been, so I actually think I'm looking forward to, you know, the August 2022 thing. I'm actually pretty excited for that. What this does mean is that if you're a high rank and you lose to a low rank, you're going to lose a lot of rank. And if you win against them, you won't gain as much. That being said, Wiz has always been like this. You've always been able to go against anybody at your level. And I think that's just better for queue times. Maybe they could make it less punishing if you lose to someone who's lower rank. Because there's enough RNG in this game where if you're like a gigantic high rank player, like, and you lose to someone because of RNG that's way lower rank, it's bad, bro. Like, you'll lose like 20 rank, and all you're really fighting for is like 2 rank. I think that's a little ridiculous. So maybe they could, like, I don't know, change that a little bit. So at least on the punishing side, it's not as bad. Maybe that would fix things. What might change or might not change in PvP is the fact that the Professor's Horde gear now gives Merciless gear without a school requirement. So you could literally run off school stats with your, like, your school. Like, I could be a Death Wizard on an ice with all of the Dworgen gear, for example. Now, you still don't get Merciless at Thames and Rings, so technically you can't have all the same stats, but this is the closest we've ever been to dual school actually being a thing, and I think it really could be a possibility that you could use the utilities of your main school, like, for example, like Mana Burn on a balance, right? Only a balance can do that. You could use those while actually using hits from a totally different school. It could be completely different than what we're used to. I will be trying to do that, by the way, so stay tuned, turn on noties, subscribe if you haven't, because it's gonna be crazy. But all of that should be kind of fun. So I'm hoping that this season's actually, like, you know, more creative. You got more people, lower queue times, there's new strategies. I'm hoping with some optimism that we do have that. So all in all, I think the PvP update, as minimal as it is, actually could be kind of a W. Honestly, we don't know yet. And I think the gold key is not a W. I think big L's, in my opinion, big L. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know how you'd fix what you do have an issue with. I think the devs always read the comment sections on these videos, so make sure you drop a comment, drop a like if you enjoyed. If you like videos where I keep y'all in the loop like this, as always, if somebody has not told you you're awesome today, they doing something wrong, so stay awesome. And yeah.